All right, thanks so much, Kelsey. I'm getting the lowdown on the Hustlers movie before we actually review it. It's time for the Bell Breakdown. Film critic Josh Bell here on this Friday the 13th. Too bad we don't have a scary movie to talk about today.
Yeah, it seems weird that they don't have a Friday the 13th movie or some sort of horror movie out this week. We do have the Sin City Horror Fest going on this weekend at the Palms, though, so that's something.
And that's all weekend long?
Yeah, that starts today and goes through Sunday, so it's a cool event. People should check that out, definitely.
Okay, great. Let's talk about a popular movie that everyone's talking about. You know, J-Lo starring in this movie called Hustlers. It's a crime drama, and people are saying Oscar buzz for her acting performance. I'm curious to hear what you think about that, but first tell me about the movie.
So this is based on a true story that was a big article in New York Magazine a couple years ago about this group of strippers in New York City who scammed these men out of tons and tons of money. Basically, they drugged them, kind of gave them a good time, but they didn't really remember that, and had them sign off on their credit cards, essentially, so that these women could collect all this money, and the guys would wake up the next day and hopefully, from their perspective, just think they had a good time and spent too much money at the strip club. But they pushed it further and further and took more and more money from these guys, and eventually they were caught and arrested. So it's your typical kind of rise and fall crime story. Jennifer Lopez is the sort of older mentor character, and Constance Wu is really the main character of this movie, who's kind of the younger woman who comes into the club and doesn't really know the lay of the land, and Jennifer Lopez takes her under her wing, and then eventually they launch this scheme, and things go well for a little while. They're making a lot of money, and then it all comes crashing down. So, I mean, story-wise, these beats are really familiar, but I think it's executed very well. It's got a lot of Martin Scorsese, Steven Soderbergh kind of echoes to it, but enough twists on that formula that it feels fresh. Jennifer Lopez is good. Constance Wu, there's some fun supporting performances, and just a lot of style to this movie. It's fun to watch, but there's a real depth to the character relationships between these two main characters. So yeah, surprisingly quite enjoyable, I think. Yeah.
Okay. And what about her as like a Best Actress nomination for an Oscar?
I don't know. It would be a supporting actress nomination, which actually might make it easier in some ways. She's good in this movie. I think maybe it's been so long since she's been good in something that people are maybe overreacting a little bit to her giving an actually solid performance. But yeah, I mean, she is good. I wouldn't necessarily be upset if she got an Oscar nomination. I think there's probably better candidates.
Josh, how's her pole dancing? Let's talk about that.
Her pole dancing is amazing in this movie.
Great.
It is really Oscar-worthy. If they gave an Oscar for Best Pole Dancing, she would win. She's in such, like, the shape that she's in is really extraordinary.
It is extraordinary, that's for sure. Okay, want to move on to the next movie?
Sure.
Okay, let's do that. Brittany Runs a Marathon. This is a Sundance winning comedy starring Jillian Bell, who's from here, right?
Yeah, Jillian Bell went to Bishop Gorman, grew up in Las Vegas, and so it's cool to see her kind of as a rising star. She's been a supporting player in some comedies, most notably, I think, the Jump Street movies. But here she's playing Brittany. She's kind of this slacker, directionless woman living in New York City, and goes to the doctor and is told she needs to get in shape, and decides that she's going to run the New York City Marathon, even though she's never even run a block.
Oh, wow.
And it's a feel-good kind of comedy. She's getting her life together in many different ways, and kind of getting rid of her toxic friends, and she falls in love, and she makes some new friends.
All this stuff happens as she's getting ready for the marathon?
Yeah, because it's a metaphor for life. She's not just running the marathon, she's running towards a better life.
Got it.
Yeah, Jillian Bell is funny. She's solid in this movie. I really wish I had liked it more. It tries so hard to be crowd-pleasing. Even though it's an indie kind of film and it played at Sundance, it's very cheesy and mainstream, and I think it also tries so hard to balance between wanting to be pro getting in shape and being healthy, but not be judgmental about body positivity, that it ends up in this bland middle ground where it doesn't say anything or have any kind of point of view other than hooray for everything. And I just felt like it completely washed over me without any kind of impression. I think people will have their hearts warmed. A lot of people have, but my heart was not. But
Your
I wish
heart was not
Jillian
warmed.
Bell further success. It's great to see someone from Vegas becoming a movie star.
I bet your heart warmed over J-Lo pole dancing, though.
Maybe, yeah, maybe more so on that one. I would recommend that movie over this one. Yes.
It's Friday the 13th. I can say whatever I want, right?
Is that the rule?
Yeah, that is
Okay,
the rule.
all right.
Josh, love it. I love that you loved Hustlers and you kind of like the other one. This is a good day for Josh.
Yeah, it's a decent movie week.
It's a decent movie week.
Yes.
And Sin City Horror Fest, is there a place we can go to get more information? They have a website. I'm
Yeah, you
sure.
can go to cincityhorrorfest.com, and I'll be doing a live podcasting thing out there this weekend also. So
Okay.
come check it out. Say hi.
All right, that was a fun-filled Bell breakdown, everyone. Enjoy the full moon tonight, and Josh will be back next Friday. Stay with us.